A man walked into a bank with your identity. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is very urgent. Archangel Michael says, do not skip this. This is not an ordinary message. This is for you, and it is happening right now in the unseen realm and in the physical world. A man has walked into a bank with your identity, and something illegal is being attempted under your name. Heaven has been watching, and the spiritual alarms have already been set off. Archangel Michael was dispatched before you even knew what was unfolding, and his voice is trembling with urgency as he tells me to speak these words to you without delay. The air around you may seem still, but in the spirit, there is a flurry of movement, investigations in both divine and earthly realms, and a battle to keep your name, your destiny, and your blessings from being hijacked by the hands of deception. My child, the moment the man entered the bank with documents carrying your identity, the angels of the Lord took position around you. They know you have been fighting unseen battles for so long, and now the enemy is trying to attack your reputation, your finances, and your credibility. It is not by accident that you are reading this right now. Heaven has aligned this exact second so you can be informed, protected, and prepared. Archangel Michael's sword is already drawn, and his wings have spread wide, shielding you from a wave of accusations that the enemy was hoping would destroy your life. He says this is no time to hesitate, no time to doubt the message, because every delay gives darkness more space to move. The man who walked into the bank is not acting alone. There is a network, people who have studied your name, your details, and your blessings for months, even years. They have whispered among themselves about how to gain from what God has given you. They think you are not aware, but your Father in heaven knows everything. He has seen every paper they have forged, every meeting they have held, and every plan they have whispered behind closed doors. They believe in their hearts that they are clever enough to walk away unnoticed, but they did not account for the eyes of the Lord that roam the earth, watching every detail. Archangel Michael is commanding your spirit to stay alert, because this is more than just an earthly bank matter. It is an attempt to steal your spiritual inheritance as well. Whenever someone uses your identity illegally, they are not only after money, they are attempting to transfer ownership of blessings that have been assigned to you. They are trying to tie your name to sins you never committed, debts you never owed, and crimes you never thought of. This is why the warning is so urgent. In the physical, it will look like an act of fraud, but in the spiritual, it is a signature attempt, an effort to make heaven believe you are guilty so that your blessings are delayed. But God is not silent. Even now, He is turning the plans of the enemy into an open exposure. The documents that man carried are under review in heaven's courtroom. Archangel Michael is presenting evidence before the throne of God, and angels are being dispatched to ensure that earthly authorities are guided to the truth. This is why you must not skip these words. The moment you skip, you cut off the spiritual alert that keeps your name safe. Archangel Michael's voice is strong but urgent. He says this is not the kind of situation that waits for tomorrow. The man at the bank wore a disguise, but his spirit could not hide from heaven. His steps were shaky when he handed over the papers, because the presence of God had already gone ahead to disrupt his confidence. The clerk who took those papers will have an unusual stirring in their spirit, a sudden thought that something is not right. That thought is not random. It is the whisper of an angel. The person processing the documents will pause, ask for more verification, and stall the process without even knowing why. This is the divine delay that will buy heaven the time to act in your favor. My child, you must know this. God is not just defending your earthly identity. He is secure in your destiny. This moment is about more than fraud. It is about the mark you carry as a chosen one. The enemy has tried again and again to erase your name from the list of those marked for favor, but every attempt has failed because you are sealed by the blood of the Lamb. Archangel Michael says your name is written in places the enemy cannot reach, but you must still remain spiritually alert so you don't unknowingly open doors. This means prayer, this means awareness, and this means refusing to dismiss this message as coincidence. The man's movements were tracked from the moment he left his house. An angel followed him on the street, through every turn, into that bank. Even as he tried to convince the teller that he was you, a divine recorder was documenting every word. God will make sure there is undeniable proof of your innocence, both in heaven's books and in earthly law. You will be cleared, but the enemy is hoping you will panic and make mistakes before the truth surfaces. That is why Archangel Michael says, hold your peace, stay calm, and let heaven finish its work. But there is something deeper. This attack is a mirror of a past season in your life when people tried to misrepresent you. You thought those battles were over, but the same spirit of deception is making another attempt. Only this time, God has trained you to see it before it takes root. In the past, you may have been blindsided, but today, you have been forewarned. Heaven is making sure you will not be caught off guard again. Archangel Michael has been preparing you for this confrontation long before you knew it existed. Even now, in the spirit, I see two scenes unfolding at the same time. In the physical, a man is being questioned, his hands trembling as he tries to maintain his story. In the spiritual, angels are holding chains, ready to bind the lying spirit that has been operating through him. These chains are not made of earthly metal, they are made of divine light that no darkness can break. The man thought he was working for his own gain, but in reality, he was being manipulated by forces that despised the light in you. They wanted to use his greed to attack your blessings. But God will expose not just the man, but the entire chain of people behind him. Archangel Michael says you must know this. Before this day ends, there will be a sign that the exposure has begun. It may come as a phone call, a message, a sudden piece of news, or even an unexpected delay in something you were expecting to happen. Do not dismiss it. It will be confirmation that heaven is moving. When you see it, take a moment to give thanks, because it will mean that the spiritual battle has already tilted in your favor. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. My child, this message is long because the matter is deep. I must keep speaking so that the enemy has no room to twist the truth. Every line you read builds a wall of divine awareness around you. Every word Archangel Michael gives is another layer of protection. This is why the enemy would prefer you to skim, skip, or forget this quickly, but do not. Let it settle in your spirit, because you will need this strength in the coming hours. God says, this moment is not like the others you have lived through, my child. This is the kind of moment where heaven itself bends closer to whisper to you, because the danger is real, the urgency is burning, and the consequences of ignoring it are so deep that they could change the course of your life forever. I speak to you through Archangel Michael right now, because he has been fighting tirelessly on your behalf, yet what has just taken place on earth has disturbed the balance of what I have prepared for you. Michael has seen it. He has shouted in the courts of heaven for your protection, and now he is standing by your side pleading with you to not turn away from this warning. He says, with a voice that shakes the foundations of the unseen realm, that a man has walked into a bank with your identity, and something illegal has been set in motion in your name. You do not yet realize the seriousness of this moment, because you were not in that building. You did not feel the heat of the suspicious glances exchanged between the tellers. You did not hear the quiet but deliberate click of security doors closing behind him. But Michael saw it. He was there, unseen, guarding the perimeter of your destiny, and he is urging you not to let your heart grow casual right now. He says that this was not a coincidence. It was not a simple mistake. It was a deliberate act orchestrated by forces that do not wish you well. They have studied you. They have traced your name, your number, your signature, even the very way you write. They are not playing small games. They are weaving something dangerous, and this man was only the front of it. He walked in carrying papers that bore your information, but Michael could see beyond the ink and the forged details. He saw the intention in the man's spirit, the shadowy agreements that had been made in private, the unholy exchange of favors and money that preceded this act. Michael is telling you that heaven will not let this pass without alerting you, because the ripple of this could reach far into your life. This is why you must not skip this message. This is why your spirit has been restless lately, why your dreams have carried strange scenes you couldn't explain, why your heart beats faster when you think about the month ahead. You are not imagining it. Your soul has been sensing the approach of this moment. Right now, the records in certain systems carry your name in connection with actions you have not taken. This man's visit to the bank was not just about withdrawing money. It was about setting up something much darker. Michael says they are trying to open paths under your name, pathways that lead to debts, accusations, and traps that will later be used against you. He says you must understand that in the earthly realm, things like this may take days or weeks to surface, but in the spiritual realm, the action is immediate. The moment his hand touched the pen, the moment his mouth spoke your name to the teller, chains began forming in the unseen realm. Chains designed to bind you with fear, shame, and the kind of trouble that keeps doors closed. But hear me, my child, you are not alone in this. I have dispatched Michael not just as a messenger but as a warrior to break these chains before they lock around you. He is fighting even now, but he needs your attention, your agreement and prayer, your willingness to act and not dismiss this. This is not the hour to say, "It will probably be fine," or "I'll deal with it later." Michael says the window to intervene is narrow. He says the illegal thing that has been done in your name is not an isolated attempt. It is connected to other things that have been whispered about you behind closed doors. He says the same forces that sent this man to the bank are the ones who have been stirring old enemies, reawakening people you thought had forgotten you, reminding them of your vulnerabilities. My child, This is why in recent days you have felt waves of heaviness come over you without reason. You have noticed small, strange miscommunications with people who normally understand you. You have seen opportunities that seemed certain suddenly slip away. These are not random, they are the effect of the shadow's hand moving in the background. The man at the bank was a visible expression of an invisible campaign against you. But I, the Lord your God, am shining a spotlight on it now because you are meant to stand, not fall. You are meant to overcome, not be buried under false accusations. Michael says that while the bank staff suspected something was wrong, the man was skilled at masking his intentions. He smiled at the right moments, he spoke calmly, and he tried to look harmless. But in the spirit, Michael saw his hands trembling, not from fear of being caught, but from the weight of the assignment given to him. This was not his idea, he was carrying out the will of someone else, someone who believes they will never be traced back. But heaven has already traced them. Their name is known, their face is known, their voice has been recorded in the courts of heaven speaking against you. And Michael is declaring that every word they have spoken will be overturned. The urgency of this moment, my child, is that if you stay silent or dismissive, their plan will continue to unfold unhindered. But if you take this message seriously, if you align yourself with heaven's intervention, then this illegal act will become the very thing that exposes them completely. Michael says there is evidence that can be revealed now, but only if you move quickly. He has been guarding that evidence, keeping it from being destroyed. In the earthly sense, it may be a document, a recording, or a witness who saw too much. In the spiritual sense, it is a sealed testimony that will unlock the truth. My child, I know you have been through seasons where warnings came and nothing seemed to happen afterward, and so you may feel tempted to think this is another one of those times. But this is different. This is the time when ignoring the warning would have consequences you cannot easily reverse. Michael says to picture a line being drawn in front of you, on one side is the life you have known, on the other side is the storm that this act could unleash. You are standing right at the line now. The decision you make in this moment determines which side you will step into. Do not underestimate how much I care for you, how much I am involved in the details of your life. I am the one who has counted every hair on your head, who has seen every tear you cried when no one else was watching. I am the one who gave Michael the order to leave his post in another place to come and stand beside you for this exact matter. That is how urgent this is. That is why Michael's voice is sharp and trembling at the same time. He loves you, my child, and he will not watch silently while someone tries to write your name into a crime you never committed. Right now, the spiritual atmosphere around you is charged. Heaven is leaning in, hell is pressing in, and you are the deciding factor in which voice you will agree with. Will you agree with the lie that says, this is nothing, or will you agree with the truth that says, this is an attack, and I will not stand for it? Michael says that the moment you agree with heaven, the chains start breaking, the shadows lose their grip, and the plans of those who set this in motion begin to crumble. But you must decide now, not tomorrow, not after more signs, but in this moment. The man who walked into the bank with your identity may think he succeeded, but heaven is already setting a trap for him, not to harm him without cause, but to bring him to the point where his actions are revealed, his connections are uncovered, and the truth about who sent him is laid bare. My child, this is bigger than him. He is only a pawn in a much larger plot that has been brewing for months. Michael has traced it back to conversations that happen late at night, to emails sent in secret, to meetings in quiet corners where your name was spoken with malice. They thought you would never know, but now you know. And knowing changes everything. Michael says to tell you that your obedience right now will be the difference between being dragged into their story and writing your own victory. He says there is a light being shown on your path even now, guiding you toward the steps that will secure your name, your resources, and your future. That light is not coming from your own understanding. It is coming from me, the Lord your God, who sees the end from the beginning. I will not let you be blindsided if you walk with me in this. I will not let their false papers stand. I will not let their accusations stick. You are being called into action, my child. Heaven has sounded the alarm. Michael's sword is drawn, his wings are spread wide to shield you, but his eyes are locked on you to see if you will move. Do not let the weight of past disappointments keep you frozen. This is a new day, a new battle, and the victory is already in your favor if you choose it. The man at the bank may have thought he could walk out unnoticed, but heaven noticed. And now you notice. That changes everything. My beloved child, I am speaking to you in this moment not by accident, not by coincidence, but because there is something happening right now in the physical realm that is connected to you in ways you could not imagine. This is not something you can afford to delay or put aside for later. Archangel Michael has been standing beside you, whispering into your spirit, trying to get your attention for hours, but you have been distracted by the noise of life. Now I, the Lord your God, am making it plain before you. There is a matter so urgent, so pressing, that heaven itself is intervening on your behalf. Michael's voice is not faint this time. It is strong, firm, almost trembling with urgency, because the events taking place are not just random happenings in the world. They are directly connected to your name, your identity, your destiny. A man has walked into a bank carrying something he should never have. He did not come in with honesty, and he did not come in with permission. He came in with your identity. It was not given to him, it was stolen. He is using something that belongs to you, something sacred, something that carries your name. In the natural world, it may look like a simple crime of fraud or theft, but in the spiritual realm, it is a direct attack on who you are, on the blessings and promises I have already prepared for you. This man is not acting alone. There are forces behind him, whispering lies into his ears, guiding his hands to do harm against you. They thought you would never know. They thought you would be too busy, too unaware, too disconnected to notice. But I, your God, saw every single step he took before his feet ever touched the bank floor. Right now, there are papers with your name on them that you did not sign. There are forms with your details that you never filled. There are words being spoken about you in a place you have not walked into. This man believes he can hide under the shadows, that the truth will never see the light. But I am the God who sees everything done in secret, and I am the one who exposes what darkness tries to conceal. I am showing this to you now because if you ignore it, the damage will be far greater than you can imagine. But if you act in the Spirit, if you stand in prayer, If you lift your voice right now, heaven will intercept his path, and what was meant to harm you will be turned into a testimony of my protection. Michael is holding his sword, and it is drawn. He has been dispatched to guard what belongs to you. He is standing at the threshold of this bank in the spiritual realm, and every demonic influence that tried to accompany that man is trembling at Michael's presence. But here is what you must understand, my child. Michael's protection is activated when you believe and when you pray. Faith is the access point for angelic intervention. If you allow fear to take root, if you sit back thinking, "This will just go away," you risk opening the door for the enemy to do more harm. But if you stand now in authority, knowing you are covered by my name, no paper, no signature, no transaction, no accusation will succeed against you. This is not just about your financial identity, it is about your spiritual identity. The enemy is trying to write a false story about you. He is attempting to place your name in records that carry lies, to stain your reputation, to connect you with acts you never committed. But I am declaring over you now, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn. For this is your heritage as my servant. You are not the sum of false accusations. You are not the victim of identity theft in my kingdom. You are my child, chosen, sealed, and marked by my Spirit. Do not underestimate how serious this moment is. When I send Michael to deliver a warning, it is because the situation is already moving quickly. In the earthly realm, the man is speaking to a bank employee, perhaps smiling, perhaps pretending to be confident, but behind his facade is a plan to withdraw something that is not his, to drain resources that were set apart for your use. In the spiritual realm, demons are circling him, feeding him instructions, hoping he will succeed so that you will feel the weight of loss, shame, and confusion. But here I am, speaking to you before the damage is done, because I am your God, and I will not let the plans of the enemy prosper if you stand with me. Right now, I need you to pray with the authority I have given you. Do not pray timid prayers. Do not whisper words of uncertainty. Declare with confidence, in the name of Jesus, every plan against me is destroyed. Every false document with my name is nullified. Every spirit of theft and deception is bound and cast away. Every hand reaching for what belongs to me is stopped by the power of God. As you speak these words, angels are moving. Michael is not alone. He has called for reinforcements, and they are surrounding that bank, cutting off spiritual communication between the man and the demonic forces influencing him. His hands will shake, his voice will falter, his plan will collapse under the weight of heaven's intervention. Do not think this is only about today. The enemy's goal is long-term. He wants to establish a chain of events that will haunt you for months or years. But if you act now in prayer and faith, that chain will be broken before the first link is forged. This man will not be able to access your blessings. The spiritual handwriting against you will be erased. Your name will be restored to purity in every record, both earthly and heavenly. And when this is over, you will see not just the rescue of your identity, but an increase, because I am the God who not only protects but restores and multiplies. Michael is urging me to tell you, do not take this lightly. Do not say to yourself, "Oh, God will handle it without me. Yes, I am sovereign, but I have given you authority to speak into your own situation. I have placed power in your tongue to bless or to curse, to bind or to loose. You must open your mouth and declare victory. This is how battles are won in the spiritual realm, through the word, through faith, through relentless trust in me. I have already seen the end of this matter. If you stand firm, you will walk away untouched. The man who walked into the bank with your identity will leave with nothing. His plans will unravel so quickly that he will be left confused, wondering why everything fell apart. He will not even be able to explain it to himself. And in the process, your life will be shielded, your finances will be guarded, and your name will remain spotless in the eyes of those who matter. What was meant to harm you will be turned into proof of my power in your life. But hear me, this is a turning point. How you respond to this warning will determine the level of protection you walk in from this day forward. If you respond with obedience, with prayer, with faith, you will activate a season where every scheme against you will be exposed before it takes root. You will walk in an anointing of early warning, where the enemy will never be able to surprise you again. This is not just about saving you from this one situation. It is about training you to recognize my voice and Michael's urgency so you will never again miss a divine alert. You are safe, but safety in the spirit is not passive. It is active. Stand now, speak now, believe now. Michael is watching. Heaven is moving. And I, your God, am holding you in my hands where no one can snatch you away. Trust me, for I am with you. Nothing will go wrong with you when you are hidden under my wings. You are covered, you are protected, you are mine. My child, listen carefully to the voice that calls to you in this moment, because this is not just an ordinary message. This is the hand of heaven reaching out to hold you before something unfolds that you are not prepared for. This is urgent, and there is no mistake in why you are reading this right now. It is no accident. Your spirit was guided here because something has been revealed in the higher realms, and it is directly connected to you. God sees everything. God knows everything. And what has been hidden in the dark is now coming into the light. Archangel Michael has stepped forward. He is fierce. He is protective. He is the defender of truth, and he is speaking your name with urgency. He is not whispering this time. He is declaring it like a trumpet in the heavens. Do not skip this. Do not turn away. This is about you, and it is happening now. He is not speaking in riddles today, my child, for what has been shown to him is not to be delayed. There is a man, a stranger to you by face, but not by spiritual connection, who has dared to walk into a bank carrying your identity. Not your image as God created it, but a forged version of who you are, a shadow meant to mimic the light of your being. He has walked in with your name, your information, your essence falsely claimed as his own. He is attempting something illegal, something that could place you under suspicion if not for the protection that is already circling around you. God saw him before he took a single step toward that bank. Michael stood in the doorway of heaven and saw his plan unfold like smoke in the wind. Every thought he had, every word he spoke to others before this moment, it has been recorded in the book of truth. And Michael is not simply watching, He is moving. He is placing his mighty sword between you and the destruction this man hoped to bring into your life. My child, you must understand the spiritual weight of this moment. When someone tries to take your identity in the physical world, it is more than a legal offense, it is a spiritual attack. The enemy has been searching for a way to confuse, to entangle, to misrepresent who you are so that your blessings, your reputation, and your destiny might be damaged. But God says number. Heaven says number. Michael has declared number. You belong to God, and no counterfeit spirit can take what God has marked as yours. I see clearly in the spirit that this man thought he could be clever. He believed no one was watching. He thought the papers in his hand, the false identification, and the carefully practiced story he carried would be enough to fool those around him. But what he did not know is that before he even stepped foot into that building, angels were already there. They walked ahead of him, whispering into the ears of those inside, stirring the atmosphere so that his plans could not take root. What he thought would be smooth became filled with resistance. What he thought would be hidden became exposed. God says you are safe, but you must remain alert. The enemy is trying to steal more than just money or credit. He is trying to steal your name. And in the spiritual realm, your name is tied to your destiny. This is why heaven is speaking so loudly to you today. You are not to live in fear, but you are to live in awareness. When heaven alerts you, it is because there is still time to act, still time to stand in prayer, still time to allow Michael to shield you fully from the fallout of what this man tried to do. God reminds you of his promise in Isaiah 54 verse 17, "No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn." This applies here. This man's actions are a weapon formed against you, but they will not prosper. His false claims will not prosper. His deceit will not prosper. Every lie attached to your name will be condemned, and the truth will stand in your favor. I see in the spirit that there may be news, perhaps a phone call, a letter, or a notification alerting you to strange activity connected to your name. Do not panic. This is not a sign of danger overcoming you. It is confirmation that heaven was right and that God's word to you today is real. When you receive this sign, remember, it is already handled. The enemy is trying to run with something that does not belong to him, but Michael is already in pursuit, and the heavenly court has already ruled in your favor. My child, there is a deeper meaning here as well. This situation is symbolic of what has been happening spiritually for some time now. There have been people, seen and unseen, trying to take credit for your work, your ideas, your essence. Some have smiled in your presence while quietly using your name or your influence for their own benefit. Others have spoken about you in places you were not present, twisting your story to suit their purposes. These are forms of spiritual identity theft. But today, God is calling an end to it. Heaven is standing to declare, enough. The name I have given my child is holy. It will not be dragged through the mud. It will not be falsely used. It will not be claimed by another. Every blessing with your name on it is still yours. Every opportunity meant for you will still find you. Every honor and recognition you deserve will still be placed in your hands, because God's plan cannot be hijacked by deceit. You are being reminded right now to stay close to prayer in this season. Michael is fighting for you, but your agreement in the Spirit is powerful. Speak words of